first 2-3 games he should come off the bench unless like you put him in and he just clearly has it.
Yeah, I mean,
he's in a slump. I'm like, yo, define a slump. Because he's still having like 23, 25 point games on like 16 shots.
Yeah.
That's
People are spoiled. That's when you start hammering slump.
I think especially like World Series champions are not going to the White House because of what he said about Latinos and Oz. So I don't think any of those MLB teams. But it's gonna be hard to like picture like if the Seahawks win the championship. Richard Sherman not going to the White House.
Yeah, he might not go.
I don't think LeBron's gonna go to the White House.
Might not go. Yeah, LeBron. He publicly endorsed Clinton.
Draymond Green not going to the White House. So I don't think it's going to affect. I don't think a lot of teams are going to go to like a White House for visits. And it's like Obama was a known sports fan, so it might have. So it's like it might not have been that way if Clinton would have won either. So,
yes,
but I think definitely because Trump is not in the is in the White House, there's not going to be a lot of teams going there to celebrate their championship with President-elect Trump.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the election, I was just like disappointed in like the entire turnout of it.
Yeah.
Almost half the country didn't even bother to cast their vote.
Yeah.
And just when you think about that stat, it's like really half the country didn't think, let me take 10 minutes to go vote, at least. And I hate when people say, "Oh, well, my voice wasn't going to be heard anyway." Like, how is it not going to be heard? If you cast your vote, your voice is already heard. You have
exactly.
It's not like you did make a difference. So I hate when people say, "I'm not going to cast my vote." Okay, now you see what happened. Half the country didn't vote, and now Trump is president.
Well, the Packers don't have no defense. When?
Aaron Rodgers took a lot of blame when he was on that losing streak.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Who was they blaming for that losing streak?
Mike McCarthy, the defense. Oh, the defense is injured right now. Sam Shields is out. Aaron Rodgers is doing his job.
The defense gave up 27 points. I mean, over 30 points. So,
exactly.
So we're not praising the defense.
We're praising Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, he extended the play. He made the throw. Like, the Browns probably know they're not going to be good this year, regardless of what happens.
No, they need a miracle.
It's not going to be like the Cowboys. Because first of all, people think they're going to be the Cowboys in this draft, where the Cowboys already had the talent on their roster.
They already had.
They just didn't have a consistent quarterback. Like, even if Romo would have stayed healthy, they would have still made the playoffs, in my opinion.
Maybe
because they still had an all-star offensive lineup.
True.
All-star offensive line, a decent defense.
All right.
Their special teams was okay, but to me, when you have all those pieces, like you're gonna in the NFC East, it don't take 10 games to get to the playoffs.
It did last year.
Cowboys won 10 games? No, they won 11.
13, and the Giants won 11.
But usually it doesn't take that much.
No. The NFC East got better.
It's considerably better than the last 2-3 years.
Yeah,
I would say.
It was like 9-7 won the division.
Exactly. When they were calling it the NFC least.
But when you announced your retirement in 2016, I read a headline that it described you as the last guy to sack Brett Favre. How did it feel to hold that title, like of being one of the last person to sack basically one of the greatest quarterbacks ever?
The thing about that title, I don't like it in a way because I feel like people are celebrating me taking him out or his last play or whatever, because you never want to take anybody out, and that was never my intention. You know, in the game of football, you know, when between the lines, when the whistles are blown, you know, you got to do what you have to do. And you know, I was making a play on it. You know, I slammed to the ground. Unfortunately, he hit his head on a really hard surface that wasn't heated, and you know, it was a terrible situation to see, you know, him have a concussion and that be his last play. But it was definitely good to have my first sack against someone like him. Hall of Famer, arguably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. But, you know, that's in football. Football is a brutal sport. And, you know, everybody that watches on Sundays realizes that you see week in and week out the concussions, the hits, all this. So, you know, people know, you know, what they signed up for. And it's just unfortunate, like I said, to see someone get injured like that.
The only, and I mean the only posse Phil Jackson needs to be concerning himself with is the possibility that he could be fired if the New York Knicks do not make the playoffs this season. Why is Phil Jackson speaking on anything basketball related other than the New York Knicks, who have not made the playoffs since he took over as president of basketball operations a few years ago. I don't think he will either, but that's because I feel like really think about the last time an MVP was like sub top 3 in that conference.
Never.
It's barely ever who's top 2. Like, you think about it, like, old MVPs had the number 1 record in the NBA.
Well,
KD, when the Thunder won, they was number 1.
Okay.
When LeBron won, Heat was number 1 in the East. When LeBron won in Cleveland.
Let's go 8 times LeBron.
But then when Kobe won, they was number 1 in the East.
West.
The West.
Yeah.
When Steph won both times, they was number 1 in they was number 1 in the NBA. So it's always best. It's always based on like best team.
That's why